if there are moves to be made today directly related to this outside of just straight equity decisions. Bill Baruch seems to have found some. He joins us now on the phone because he does run a commodities fund, and he is making some moves in both gold and oil. Can you tell us what you're doing today?
Yeah, the moves really sort of started permeating through the week. Early on in the week, news that the U.S. may evacuate embassies in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq, with not a whole lot of context around it. So gold start to react, crude oil began reacting very quickly. You look at some of that starting to happen, and the fact we didn't get context around it, I think, is very important. And then, lo and behold, we start to get these moves. Volatility overnight expanded rapidly. Option prices in gold and crude oil. So what we were looking at is being positioned in those, really capitalizing on it, exiting call spreads in crude oil, exiting call spreads in gold, looking at monetizing this move ahead of the weekend, because I think the news flow is going to continue to evolve. And on one hand, I do think there is potential to see continued talks. President Trump took the Truth Social earlier in the day, talking about today being day number 61. He doesn't want to see those high oil prices. So I think these conversations will continue to go. Coming out of the weekend, we could see a little bit of a different situation. So if you're trading this, I think it's important to capitalize on these moves. If you're a trader right now and if you've been long crude oil or you've been long energy and some exposures there, it's important to capitalize on it and look to move on, but also be ready to see what next week brings.
What about gold?
I love gold overall. I think this move is building up for 5,000. I mean, it's a very nice consolidation. We could get a record high settlement in gold today. What I really love seeing as well is you're starting to see silver, platinum, and some of the others wake up. But gold, as it's moved very well through the middle part of this week, it's important here, too. We're looking at monetizing it ahead of the weekend, because some of these weekend moves, it's almost like the week loses a bit of memory from week to week, and you want to be prepared for that news to evolve. So, again, if you're long gold and you're trading it, capitalize on it here, I think is very important. Now, in our portfolios, in our diversified portfolios, we have exposure to gold, miners, midstream energy, commodities, and about 10% of the portfolio, for the exact reason that you hit on and Rob hit on, that the Treasury market, if you have a fixed income portfolio, is not reacting properly here right now. There are some good auctions this week, and still we fell out after this news on inflationary fears. So we couple our fixed income with this real asset basket. As an investor, we're not touching that today. We want to see that continue to work for us. There's cash flow from a lot of those assets too. So it just depends. What hat are you wearing? Are you wearing a trader's hat, or are you wearing an investor's hat?
All right. I appreciate you calling in. These are actionable and interesting moves to what we're all seeing take place in some asset classes within these markets. Bill Baruch, thank you for that.